I hope you guys are having fun so far, seeing everything beyond just this shelf that I usually show in my podcast. Just stopping in for a second to say, doing this is making me feel the urge to purge so many things. So yes, I think that is coming up soon. I usually do like once a year, like I'll clean things out and reorganize things in my yarn room, and it just makes me feel a million times better. So I'm glad I'm getting this video in to show you what I do have before I clean it out. All right, let's look at these yarn shelves behind me. So this corner of the room is absolutely has to be my favorite. My desk is so great to work at, but this is like the one that I turn the corner every day and see and just love. You can see I've got 2 lights and a tripod there because this is where I record my podcast right here. I roll my computer chair over and sit in front of this and rearrange everything. But right now I'm gonna go move these 2 guys out of the way. They do just stay there during the week because again, this room is just used for knitting and everything. So I don't collapse them every week. Usually I'm recording 2 videos a week, my podcast and sometimes a tutorial. So let me go move those and then I'll show you what is on the yarn shelf. He's still just right here, aren't you, bud? With your sock. You are so silly. All right, so we were just over there. Again, there's the bathroom and everything. But this is my yarn shelf. When I realized that I was gonna have my own room to put yarn in, this IKEA shelf is the first thing that I wanted. It was like, has been a dream for a long time to have this white open shelving for my yarn, and I still love it to this day. So let's look at the top first. This is just an open wooden frame that, again, I got at Hobby Lobby, and I have my wedding shawl that I knit up here. So this is the shawl that I knit for my wedding in 2017, and it's beaded, it's lace yarn, it's lace knitting, and it is so pretty. I wore it walking down the aisle and I wore it for some pictures, and now it deserves to be displayed. So I have strung it by some cotton yarn on the top so it doesn't get stretched, and used a cotton like loop right there to hang it, and that is where it lives now, so I can see it every day. On the top of the shelf, I have this little cool container here that just contains like some bits and bobs. My ball winder, some sheep that different people have bought me. Actually, I think I got that one myself. My husband brought me that one from Mexico, I think, when he was at his bachelor party. And then my friend Rebecca got me that one, and he is so cute. And I've got sugar and cream cotton scraps in that. So it's just a lovely little display that makes me happy. So here is all the yarn that I have. I think that this is really it, and it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot and it's not a lot, but like, I want to pare it down. So let's look shelf by shelf and see what's there. So this little cube is future projects. I have things bundled that I believe I'm going to use together. For example, these 2 are tied together with a ribbon because I think I wanted to use these to make, I'm going to forget now, Tanya by Caitlin Hunter. So those are tied together because I believe I'm going to use them together. These are also tied together. I think I might make birds of a feather. Maybe. I can change my mind. But those are like my project ideas right there in that cube. And this is just the little lighting that I used during my podcast that's hanging there. This is fingering weight yarn that is 75% nylon, or no, I'm sorry. It's plied, like 4-ply fingering weight yarn that is not necessarily for socks. So that's what's in that cube there. And then this is fingering weight yarn that is definitely going to be socks, either because it's self-striping or like a color that I wouldn't use for anything else. And then these are my books. I used to have 4 times as many books as this. Now I pare them all down and they fit in the one cube. This is my little blocking shelf. I've got my blocking mats there, and then also my pins. And then in the very back, there's some buckets that I used to use when I did color work before I had designed my float tote. I would put, see, they're just little metal buckets. I would put a ball of yarn in each bucket and set that on a tray so that I could keep my yarn separated. But now I just use my little float totes. Okay, the cool thing about these IKEA shelves is there's so many inserts that you can get. You can see I have the drawer inserts, the basket inserts, and then I have like a hanging, like a hammock one. There's more than that, but the inserts are really cool. This one contains needle point stuff. So occasionally I will needle point. And so I've got like all of the frames, and this is a kit and like some canvas in this drawer. And then in the bottom one, I have all of my threads, and they're just bagged. I just have them in baggies. So yep, I don't use that very often, but it is there for when I'm ready to get back to it. Okay, more yarn, more fingering weight yarn, because it's totally my favorite. But this is fingering weight yarn that is like 2-ply, 3-ply, not that 4-ply nylon stuff. And it's just separated because it looks different. These look different than this, so I probably won't use them together. And then this is my Knit Picks, what is that called? What is that stuff called? Palette. I had some of it gifted to me from a sweater that I helped knit somebody, and then I have some of it for Christmas stockings. So my Christmas stockings are out of those colors there. So yeah, it just gets its own, it's not a full shelf, like it's completely empty behind there, see? But it just looks pretty all stacked together. All right, moving down, we're now on the third of 4. These are single ply yarns in the hammock. So these are my single ply skeins. I don't have a ton, which is why it just gets its little hammock. And then below is lace weight. So again, I don't have a ton of lace weight, so it's just sitting below right there. All right, scooching over. This is my cotton thread. Is that what it's called? Cotton thread. Yes. So that is, again, it's empty behind it, but it just looks kind of pretty displayed there. I went through a phase where I did a lot of doilies, so that's why I have that yarn. And it is just sitting there displayed on its own for whenever I get the doily kick. Again, if you are a friend, a local friend that wants to make some doilies, hit me up. I have some yarn for you. Okay, this basket I'm pretty sure is a hodgepodge of different yarns, so like there's not enough of them to have their own shelf. So let's see what's in here. Okay, yeah. So I don't have a mohair shelf. So mohair is kind of, these are like leftovers, and I have one skein. So it's just kind of on its own. I don't have, I believe this is like my sport weights and bulky weights and things that just don't have a home. And so they're organized by baggies. I don't know, that's like lace weight. I think I was gonna make something with that. Here's a sweater I was gonna unravel. Like I said, I really need to go through and like organize this stuff. That's lace weight, that should go over there if I wanted to wind it back up. But yeah, it's just, since it's like not pretty in hanks and stuff, it doesn't deserve to be displayed, but I want to, I don't want to get rid of it. So it's here all together with its mismatched friends. And when I put it away, all you see is that. So it looks really, really not bad, right? Okay, then over here, this is like the worsted and the bulky weight. I think this whole hammock is like actually alpaca, and then this is like different worsted and bulky weight. So again, I don't have a ton of that, so it just all goes together in its space. Okay, on the bottom, I really debated for a while if I would keep yarn on the bottom shelf because I have a dog, but he really doesn't seem to bother it. So it is indeed on the bottom shelf. Oh, sorry, I gotta sit crisscross now. Okay, I know for sure. Now I'm tangled in my microphone, y'all. So professional. Okay, this is yarn that is washable. So like if I ever have to make a baby gift, it goes in here, or I get yarn from here. And also there are some finished items in here because they're done, but I don't have anyone to give them to. So superwash. I was using these for tutorials, but this is superwash. Like I have a totally finished blanket in here. I think that's more baby cashmere. No, that's more superwash. Those need to go back in there. But they're just grouped together like by weight or type. I have a ton of Debbie Bliss cashmerino. I think that's what that is. But yeah, it's all just grouped in there. It's good yarn, but I'm probably not going to use it for me, but it'll be great for gifts. This is not superwash, but that's that roving yarn that I've been using for the seed stitch cowls. Oh, you can see, look here, a little finished sweater. Isn't it so cute? But I don't know who to give it to because this is like nice yarn. that would have to be cared for accordingly. It's Lolo did it. And I don't know who would dress their baby in this crazy stuff, except like I totally would if I had a baby. So I'll find the right person someday, right? That's why you make stuff and you hang on to it until the right person comes along. But that's all stuff for gifts and baby things. So that all gets wrapped in plastic so it's safe and organized, but it goes in here so that you don't see it. All right, 3 more cubes. Okay, this is all Stylecraft DK. I bought a kit years ago from Stylecraft to do an Attic 24 crochet blanket. I did not make the blanket, but it all looks nice in its little spots together. So there it stays. Maybe one day I'll make a blanket. All right, this looks like a disaster because I've definitely been pulling on it during podcasts, but this is sweater quantities. Whoa, do you notice a theme? Gray. I love gray. I love gray. Gray I will always wear. So I definitely have some sweater quantities for gray. I've got mostly Miss Babs here. Isn't that funny? Like, where's my finger? Miss Babs, Miss Babs, Miss Babs, 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 Babs. And this is Knit Picks. Too funny. I love the Babs because they have such big skeins. Sorry, let me grab this. I showed this on a recent podcast. Massive hank, like sweater in a ball. So, yep, that's my sweater. I don't need to buy sweater quantities right now because most sweaters are like cropped and just take a few skeins of a main with like other things, which is great, which is why I haven't been using these. Also, I haven't been knitting sweaters, but I just need to use that stuff up the next time I want to make a sweater. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this cube. This is so random. I think it's things that I was going to make and try. Like I got this, oh, Natalie, seriously. I need something to hold on. I need a gimbal, maybe for Christmas. This is some scrubby yarn that I was going to try. I should try it. It's cool. I think there's some projects in there. I definitely was going to make something out of that. And then I have like a set of yarn. I don't know what I'm doing here. Like I said, need to organize, need to purge, but let me get up slowly. Oh my goodness. All right. That is the IKEA shelf of yarn that you see behind me in the podcast. That's what it is. That's how it's organized. And that's the yarn that I have. All right, so let's travel from here around and see what else we've got. I've put my umbrella lights and tripod back. That's where they stay. So there we go. There's our front door and our entryway and little Natalie, our Roomba. And then we have this. So let me back up so that you can see. This is the coolest thing ever. I know these were so trendy, or I don't know if they still are, but I still love them. And it's just a beautiful, I think it's a birch branch. It's real. The leaves, of course, the greenery is not real. And then the yarn, and it is just so cool. It's absolutely huge. Like there's the ceiling. These are pretty high ceilings. And I love it so much. I won this at an auction. I think I paid $100 for it, which is seriously a steal because I know that so much work went into this. So I love it so much. I had it stored for years. The way that I stored it is I took that section and braided it, the middle section and braided it, and this section and like braided it loosely and literally put hair ties around it so that it wouldn't get tangled. And then I wrapped the braids around the stick and it stayed perfect. When we hung it and undid the braids, it just fell out and it looked so good. I didn't even have to steam it or anything. So these are just all kinds of fun yarn. I feel like I recognize some of them, maybe like Lion brand. Like this looks like homespun, but I don't know for sure. There's some tweeds. So fun. There's these like little wooden discs in there. And then you can see that they're wrapped so nicely. I know this took so much work and I could not believe that I got it for $100. I'm not sure if this person is making anymore, but if you want to check out Lily & Company, I think that they had an Etsy shop a couple years ago. So I feel like I should be taking pictures in front of this more often, like as a background, but so cool. Okay, so here's what else is in here. This is not like the most satisfying corner of the room to me because that TV is supposed to go on the wall, and I think it will balance things out a little bit better. We do have these cool lights that my husband had from his bachelor days that will be fun to turn on once everything is done. And I love my rug that I got at Target. It has little tassels on the end, but they are tucked under because the Roomba will eat them. You can see the Roomba has been eating them and making dust everywhere, but cute little tassels. Okay, so on here, which I desperately need to dust that, how funny. I have this fun basket which contains all of the granny squares I crocheted last year for Advent. I'm totally gonna do more this year. Oh wait, hold on. I don't wanna move too fast, but look. I have my Advent ready for this year. For December 1st, I've got everything organized, days 1 through 10, 11 through 20, and I think 20, whatever, they're organized, but I have them ready, and it's the same ladies that did it last year, which is Dragon Horde Yarn and Yarn Cafe Creations. And so these are all the squares I made, all 24 of them, and then what's left over from the balls that I'm gonna do in my granny stripe blanket. But yeah, isn't that cute? I've got all of my colorful light bulb stitch markers in this cute little tray that a friend gave me. I also have a candle called Warm Wool that a friend gave me. And then over here, let's see, just some more cute little accessories, gifts. I have my Echo. Good morning, Echo. And yes, a friend gave me that too. Isn't that cool? It's like a vintage print. I love that. Good morning, Echo. Wow, it's so late. It doesn't even listen to me. Okay, on this wall, I have my circular needle organizer. Now, most of my circular needles are interchangeable, but anything that's not, I have hanging here. So this little guy is from Lantern Moon. I don't know if there's a label. There must be a label on it somewhere, but it's from Lantern Moon, and I have it hanging on a wooden hanger and a fun vintagey looking hook so that it can just hang on the wall, and it's got the needle sizes there so that you know exactly where to slide them into. It just like slides in and out. And then below that, now it's swinging, I've got a little like key thing where I hang projects. Usually there's more projects like whips hanging there, but just one right now because my other ones are in use. This corner, we're not going to talk about. I need to deal with that. That is just a mess right there. Okay, so over here, I have this funny arm thing is actually what I use to record tutorials, but I actually clip it onto the IKEA shelf, but it's just there to be out of the way. So I should have unscrewed that. Maybe I'll do that in just a second, but right up there, that is my Swift. It's an Amish Swift, and I wanted to find a way to display it so that I didn't have to, it can be unscrewed and laid flat so that you can store it away, which is great, but I'm using it pretty often, so I actually wanted a place where I could put it on the wall where it was out of the way, but still really easy to get to. So I just have these really cool hooks, and I made sure they were wide enough that they could fit, and it just hangs right up there on the wall. Like if I wanted to, I could spin this around, well, not very far, but anyway, I don't use it on the wall. I take it down and set it flat, but it's up there and it's always in sight and easy. So let me see if I can pull on. There we go. I got the silly thing out of the way. Okay, so on top of this shelf here is my scrappy items. So you can see my scrappy granny stripe blanket is in here, along with all of the different yarns that I have to use. My hook are in there. In this pouch is actually a knitted scrappy project. Usually I just leave that in there. And then in this lovely glass bowl is all of my smaller scraps that are either I've already used them for the crocheted blanket and now they're too small for that. They're for the knitted project. So they just stay in here on display, which is so, so nice. Okay, should we quickly go through this set of drawers? It's not as interesting in there, so maybe I'll do that one real fast. All right, we'll do these quickly. I also painted this, can you tell? And put new knobs on it, and it's just clean and white and great. Okay, so in the top drawer, I have some random things. I have a lot of tulle because I love making these like scrubbies. Here they are. I love making these scrubbies as gifts. And so I have a lot of tulle. I used to buy it like whenever it was on sale, I just grab a couple of them. So I had different colors, and now I have a ton. I just need to start making scrubbies. I also have this, this is for all of my stitch marker making, and it's just organized. Again, this one's not a Plano brand, but I think I got this at Walmart in like the tackle section. So anytime I want to change something to be a stitch marker or make stitch markers, I've got everything organized here. And that's a sewing one right there. I don't need that very often. So that's kind of a random drawer. I have a letterboard somewhere, so that's in there. Let's see what else we got. This is all worsted weight scraps. If I'm ever, like I used to make more toys, and so I would need different colors for different things. So you can see things are kind of like organized by colors, but I don't really do that anymore. So this is probably going to be one of the first things to get donated when I purge out my yarn room. I don't really know what's happening here. One time I did a market, and so I have all these bags and then like a stamp for that says Knitty Natty on it, all kinds of stuff. But then these are the boxes for like my lights and stuff. Ugh, I just need to go through that. I think I'm over it now. If I ever do a market again, I will reevaluate. More random stuff. Look, for my market when I was selling dish scrappies. Yeah, guys, I really need to go through this stuff. And then finally at the bottom, that drawer didn't want to close, did it? This is another donated piece of furniture that I painted. There we go. I have a lot of holiday stuff. I have some finished things from that market that didn't sell that I could totally, they're ready to like give as gifts. I also have some gifts that I knitted for people this Christmas. Cute little coffee cozies that I made for the market that I can totally give. So yeah. And then these are like, I need to pull these out now because it's Christmas. But I keep usually like Halloween and Christmas type accessories down here so that they're not always out on display, but then I can get to them when it is the holidays. So there is that. Behind that dresser here, I keep my giant blocking board. So this is actually a set of blocking wires. There's stiff and curved wires, which are good for blocking lace. I don't need them very often, which is why I have them kind of hiding. And then that's my blocking board. So I just slide it back behind here. So give me a second and I'll pop it open so you can see what it looks like. All right, here's my giant blocking board opened up. It's great, it's gridded. If you wanted to iron on it, you can. I think it's really meant for sewing. Like I don't know what any of these lines are for. But I use it for blocking shawls, and then I usually use those, can we see them from over here? Oh, you can barely see them right there in the corner. If I have like a triangular shawl, most of it will fit on here, and then I'll just add like those squares to the outsides to get the whole shawl blocked. And I usually do it right here on the floor behind this couch. So that's my blocking board, but it folds up and I slide it behind that dresser when it's not in use. I have one little last area and then we are done. So this is just a side table next to the couch, and I have more scrappy yarns. These are like extras. Like I've either already used them or they're from like a pair of socks where I had 2 balls left that are this size. So I'll put one in to go for my scrappy blankets and then one in here so that I can give these away like to friends and stuff if they have scrappy projects. This is just a cute little mug where I keep, oh my gosh, I was looking for these. These are from my scrappy knitting project. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But this is where I keep most of my crochet hooks. Those are the Clover Amours. I really, really love them. Only the extras go in the drawer. These are out on display. And then I have a sweet little yarn bowl right there. But I think that's the last area, you guys. Oh, you might have wanted to see, here's my couch. I have, of course, knitting related pillows on it, except for this sweet one that a friend made me that just says established 2017 when we got married. But yeah, just cute little alpaca or llama over there. And that's it. Whew, all right, y'all, I am exhausted. So that is the yarn room tour. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I have my stuff organized, what I do have, how I keep it, and just what it looks like beyond the frame of the podcast. So yeah, I think that I'm ready to, in the next few weeks, start organizing my stuff even more. So maybe I will take you guys on that journey too. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys again soon. Bye.